Hello everyone and welcome to my channel CineScape by Akriti. This is a comparative review of two films which released on the last weekend and I happened to catch both of them in theatres. One of them has been talked about quite a lot and has developed a hype around it, whereas the other is going practically unnoticed. I am talking about Shaitan and Laapataa Ladies. So the first film is in the horror thriller genre, whereas the second is a slice of life satire on Indian society. So I would first be talking about the makers and the starcast of both the films and will then be telling you the 5 criteria on the basis of which I'll be doing this review. Shaitan is the directorial venture of Vikas Bahl of Queen fame, and Queen is one of my all-time favorite Hindi films. And Shaitan has been written by Amil Kian Khan, who has also written films like Runway 34 and Drishyam 2. And on the basis of these two films, I can say that he has only written adaptations of different language films. So for example, we all know that Drishyam 2 is the remake of the Malayalam film Drishyam 2. And Runway 34, I felt, was a complete ripoff of the Tom Hanks starrer Hollywood film Sully. Shaitan boasts of a good ensemble star cast consisting of R. Madhavan, Ajay Devgn, Jyotika and Janki Bodiwala. The film has been directed by Kiran Rao, who also directed Dhobi Ghat back in 2011. And the film is written by Biplab Goswami, Sneha Desai and Divyanidhi Sharma. In the star cast, we have Nitanshi Goel, Pratibha Ranta and Sparsh Shrivastav. The 5 criteria on the basis of which I would be reviewing these two films are: number 1, the basic plot; number 2, screenplay and editing; number 3, characters and acting; number 4, music and background score; and number 5, cinematography. So let's begin.
Review of Shaitan.
The basic plot of Shaitan is that a family of 4 finds itself up against a diabolical black magician played by R. Madhavan, who takes control of their daughter and makes her do heinous acts which causes a lot of distress to the family. Now what the family is ready to do in order to save their daughter forms the rest of the story of this film. Now the plot, in my opinion, is quite okay. There is nothing too good or too bad about it, so it's just average. The biggest weakness of this film is its screenplay, writing and editing. That is because 80% of the runtime of this film is spent on showing the torture that the family faces because of the character of R. Madhavan and because of the acts that their daughter commits under his influence. I believe that good films are made or destroyed in details. They could have added a lot of details to this screenplay by showing what the character of R. Madhavan intends to do and how he wants to do it. But they just do that towards the end by adding 1 or 2 lines in form of dialogues, which is not compelling enough at all. And therefore, especially for screenplay writing, it just deserves a big thumbs down. There is no progress in story from one scene to the next, and it's just terrible in its screenplay writing. The performances of Shaitan are fine, especially R. Madhavan and Janki Bodiwala, because they are the only ones who have got a little bit of meat in their character. Ajay Devgn yet again plays the role of a father who holds his ground as the protector of the family, and God knows how many times you have witnessed Ajay Devgn play the same role. Jyotika has also done a fine job, but it's not the acting aspect which has issues in this film, rather it's the characterization. They have added no depth in any of the characters, especially the black magician. There was a lot of scope to add a little bit of background story, in saying how he has gained so much of power or why he has selected this specific girl or what his ulterior motives are. None of those things are added to his character, and in terms of characterization, this film is just really bad. There is one song in this film which has been added in the beginning to establish how closely knit the family members are and how happy they are together, but the song is below average. So in terms of music, there is nothing good out of this film. But when I talk about the background score is fine, and in my opinion that has added more depth to the screenplay of this film, rather than the characters or the screenplay itself, in fact. The cinematography of Shaitan is fine. That is because various different camera angles have been used to show different emotions. In fact, the shots have been captured quite nicely in the film. So in terms of cinematography, it deserves a thumbs up.
Review of Laapataa Ladies.
The basic plot of Laapataa Ladies is that two newlywed brides who are covered in their wheels while accompanying their husbands to their in-laws' place in a train journey get exchanged. And everyone seems to realize this only when one of the two couples reaches their respective destination. The rest of the film is on how the man would get his correct bride back and what the two lost ladies would do in order to rise up to the circumstances that they find themselves in. In my opinion, this is a great plot and it allows a lot of room to explore many cultural themes as well. So for plot, this film deserves a big thumbs up. The screenplay of Laapataa Ladies has also been written brilliantly. The film takes us through a heartwarming journey while subtly exploring many different themes related to weddings in rural India, such as dowry, domestic violence, patriarchy, and also corruption. At no point the film feels preachy, and each of the scenes has been written either to contribute towards the progress of the story or to add depth to the characters. Hence, for screenplay as well, this film deserves a big thumbs up. All the characters in this film have also been written beautifully, especially the two women. The film goes on to show how upbringing and opportunities shape up one's personality. The other two important characters in the film are the central male character, which is played by Sparsh Shrivastav, and the police inspector character, which is played by Ravi Kishan. Everyone has given a good performance in the film, and apart from Ravi Kishan, no other actor in this film is seasoned, yet their performances are commendable. So in terms of characters and acting as well, this film deserves a big thumbs up. There aren't many songs in the film. I remember two of them which were actually quite good. And when I talk about the background music, most of the scenes in the film are actually silent. It's only towards the climax or the very important scenes in which they have added some background score. So in terms of music and the BGM, I would rate this film as average. The film has been shot in real locations in the rural areas of Madhya Pradesh, and many of the villagers that you see in the background are also real, and that adds so much of character, depth and authenticity to the storytelling of this brilliant film. So in terms of cinematography as well, this film deserves a big thumbs up. So as I've already mentioned that Shaitan has been running quite successfully at the box office, whereas people are not even talking about Laapataa Ladies, which is such a brilliantly made film. I believe if you have to pick out of these two films, you should definitely go for Laapataa Ladies, because I think that this is going to be one of the most well-made films to be coming out of 2024. And as Indian audiences who keep demanding good stories from the Hindi film industry, the onus falls upon us to pick the right venture. Let me know in the comments below if you have watched any of the two films or both the films and how did you like them. And if you have anything that you want to ask, you want to share, please write it down in the comments below. That's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next. Thank you so much.